You know what time it is. We got some fire today. Got Master P on the hot seat. Master P is on the hot seat. Said some controversial things, I believe, in a Forbes interview, and we're gonna weigh in on it. Before we get started, make sure y'all click that link down there, Patreon, General Seti, Etsy, One Stop. We got some fire over there for you. Tap in, family, get you some products. What's going on with Master P? I watched the video and Master P saying that black peoples is caught up in on slavery. They can't get out of that. The mind state. This happened to me. I'm at a deficit, and so he came out. Black Power, and he said that black people harbor on slavery too much. And you know what, Master P, know he out of pocket. Because number one, let me tell you something. Slavery ain't got nothing to do with when you thinking about the physical dynamic. And he know better, being a street nigga, knowing the physical dynamic. Once somebody cross you like that, you see, you ain't gonna tell no nigga in the street no shit like that. And a nigga crossing, or y'all done had a violent run in, and I'm talking about an extended violent, relationship, because slavery went on for a while and it's still going on. So you telling a motherfucker that he should forget about, and they still lynching motherfuckers, still shooting niggas in the back seat, still pulling niggas over, doing Sandra, what's her name? Sonya Massey, that guy. I'm gonna talk about him. Committing all these damn murders, and it's still going on. You have to reword that in a way to where you got respect for this situation in all the elements of how it exists. You see, you thinking economically, and nigga, it's beyond economics. You dealing with a violent maniac is what you dealing with. You dealing with a violent maniac. And once you understand the depths of this man's mind and where he's willing to go at any point in time, it ain't up to you when this man ready to check the fuck out and commit genocide on people. So to tell somebody that they should forget about slavery, I tell you what, let me show you an example how niggas think that they could talk to black people, but they won't talk to nobody else like that. Now, let me tell you something. Master P know damn well, he know this, that if he tell them Jews to forget about their Holocaust, if Master P open up his mouth and tell them Jews that they should forget about their Holocaust, that nigga will be on the news the very next day apologizing because they have been to cut off all his motherfucking connects and every motherfucking thing he got. That's how they get, because they didn't cut it off for way bigger niggas than motherfucking Master P. They didn't shut down way bigger niggas than him just by mentioning that shit. You see how they do? That's how the Jew do niggas. When you talk against their agenda, you see, especially when they done lost lives. Once you done lost lives, you got to leave that alone. You can't use that as your talking point. We should forget. I understand, no, you harness that. You don't tell people to forget. You harness what happened in slavery to propel you to do what the fuck you got to do so that you make sure it don't happen to you again. But to tell somebody they should forget about some violent, barbaric maniac, malicious maniacs committing genocide on our people, what the fuck is wrong with Master P, man? No, sir, you made a mistake in that. You made a mistake. You seriously made a mistake. Man, them Jews, they're just like, look what they did to Kyrie. You see what Kyrie was reading a book and said some shit. You see what they did? They don't let nobody fuck with their agenda. Even if we don't believe it. Even if we don't believe it and we know it not to be true, but they have galvanized their support for that concept. Them peoples, them Ashkenaz, and they regardless to whether we believe it and we don't believe it, and we know it not to be true, but they have a mechanism of power that punish motherfuckers that speak against their agenda. You understand? Because whether we feel that's their power source. And so they punish Kyrie. They punish motherfucker Kanye West running off at his mouth. He's so big, they shut his ass down, got him reneging, embarrassing his motherfucking self. You don't speak, and expect, but see, they can speak against what our agenda, and to say to forget about slavery is like saying forget about reparations. Like we don't deserve motherfucking reparations. Whether we get it, it's still ours. We know it to be right that it's ours. So I understand that we should move and do other things outside of that, but we should have a contingency at all times working on getting it. I didn't say don't work on it, but I didn't say everybody had to be. You get the best contingency that you can get to work on it. And when they need us and they say, okay, while y'all doing these things over here, if they need us and say, oh, you know what, we marching on, and if it's for the right reasons, you know what I'm saying? And we gonna make noise and we gonna make a whole lot of noise. And if we gonna do this shit, it ain't gonna be no every other 6 months. We gonna push forward and we gonna do it on the regular and keep the pressure on their ass. That's cool. Say, oh, we need everybody in DC or wherever it is gonna be at, so we can let them know we about our business. Okay, cool. We'll show up and blow up, make some noise, and then we're gonna go back and do what we've been doing. But to tell people to forget about a malicious, barbaric Holocaust, you understand what I'm saying? I mean, this is a Holocaust, and then what's crazy is the Jews, and who Holocaust happened in Europe, in which Americans ain't had a goddamn thing to do with their Holocaust. That was Hitler. But we end up paying reparations for them every fucking, look at all the money that go to Israel. Look at all the money they get over here to open up all type of institutions right here in the United States because of some Holocaust that happened over in Europe that we had nothing to fucking do with. You see, but yet and still, we don't get no Holocaust money. We don't get no Holocaust money. There ain't no reparations come our way. So it's the money is actually coming out of the money we make. It's coming out of the money that we make to go pay for their Holocaust and their reparations. So, Master P is out of line. But see, that's it, when you Christianize, and I say it because I know it to be true. All that forgive and motherfuckers can maintain their consciousness of the Holocaust and still get money. Just because you erase your slavery from that don't make you no damn, no better person. What the fuck? Either you got the gift to get up and get out and get something, or you don't got it at all. That ain't to forget your history and who you are is not a requirement to get money. So that's some bullshit what that nigga talking about. But I tell you what, he won't say that to them Jews. He won't tell them Jews to forget about their motherfucking Holocaust. He ain't gonna do that because he'll be apologizing, and because we done seen these niggas do it all the time. That's all they do. You know what I'm saying? They get up there and they, and then the very next day, they the motherfucker be crying the blues because them Jews gonna put the motherfucking pressure on their ass. Gonna put their ass in the pressure cooker. You see? They do. Look at Kanye. They can't, nigga. They had took billion. That nigga was worth 100 million when they that 400 million when they got done with his ass. Yeah, yeah. That motherfucker was worth 400 million. You know what is this? Where was where there was a crowd? Was a Neanderthal in there running off at the mouth? Yeah, well, slavery been going on a long damn time. You know what I'm saying? It been going on a long time, but these niggas, they stuck in that matrix where they, they can't think outside of America. You know what I'm saying? They can't think outside of America, so that's what they think. They think like a nigga in a box and shit, in a prison, a fucking 300-400 year prison. But yeah, and I don't know, maybe, I you know what, and I, you know what, I don't think, I don't know what Master P agenda is. I don't know if he didn't think about it well enough. I don't know if he thought about it well enough or not. Because I mean, it is what it is. A lot of time when you get caught up in that goddamn Christianity, they get on that forgiving shit, and God was very unmerciful in the Bible. But when we go in there, we got to go find them goddamn, them verses where a nigga punk out all the damn time. Yeah. Yeah, well, General Seti pages where it's hot over here, nigga. They gonna come in, they gonna come crying and all that shit when I come up. They gonna come crying and talking crazy. That's okay. Ray out there, he gonna chop their head. You know what I'm saying? Ray already know when I had them controversial subjects, they coming in crying. So you got to be ready to chop, chop, chop. But anyway, I ain't gonna hold him too long. Master P is a good Christian, and he's always looking to forgive, and that's how it is. When they working with the man, it's easy for them to cut the corner. It's easier for them to say some shit like that. Because that make them look good. Yeah, forget about this, forget about that. I tell you what, watch every nigga, Neanderthal, non-Jew, it don't make no difference, non-Jew, and you talk about they Holocaust, your ass is gonna pay, and you gonna pay dearly. They gonna immediately call you. If you speak against the Holocaust, they will immediately label your ass an anti-Semite. They saying your ass is anti-Semitic, and they gonna go to work on your ass in the public arena. They gonna do whatever they can to cut your contracts, to cut your access to media. You understand? That's what they do. So tell Master P, is he willing to condemn the Jewish Holocaust like he's doing the African slave trade, not just in America, but all over the world. All over the world. I want to see if he's willing to do that. But since he don't believe he's an African, and many of them don't, then it's easier for them, to figure a way how to wiggle out of that, because they don't identify with being no damn African, no damn way. Okay? So I'm out of here, family. They gonna get on his ass because most of these people out here got an agenda to, our people to get reparations. That's just like something we gonna do. And so for you to say forget about slavery is telling everybody to forget about reparations. And so on that alone, they gonna be on his head. Nigga, you don't fuck with nobody money, nigga. You know what I'm saying? When you see people's is in the process trying to get paper, that is ours. That's ours. That's that ain't about you forget. Our ancestors toil for that money. It ain't that you toil, nigga. Any money you get, you gonna fight for your money just like. And so why shouldn't our ancestors get because it's their reparations to their descendants. So they already worked enslaved for that money. It ain't like they giving us shit. Our ancestors worked for damn near 200-300 years without no pay, even though they didn't sign up for it. They worked 2-3, so the work has already been performed. It's time to cut the check. So what are you doing when you come out and you say, forget about slavery? What is the agenda there? All right, family, click that link down there, Patreon, and get over there to the gentleman and get that work. All right, family, Black Power. Yeah, it's gonna keep being disrespect. That's all you know. Okay.